Hey guys, so this is gonna be a really quick video. I had watched Toy Story 3 a few weeks ago, and I've been thinking about something really interesting, at least what I think interesting, you know, in me and my nerddom. There's, I think, a thing that happens within stories where a main character is written to be really cool, really admirable, do things within the story that makes us want to be like them, that makes them inspirational. And a lot of times they'll succeed with like a small exception. That small exception being that main character who's super inspirational, super cool, who we all love, will do something that's just kind of makes them a douche. Like they succeed on almost every other level, but then there's like a little part of them that's just like, that's not really cool. And then it makes you kind of like re-examine the whole narrative. And not that it ruins the story in any way, because I don't think it does. But it's just, I think, a tiny wrinkle that maybe you weren't expecting when you first interacted with the fiction. And the reason I bring this up is because me watching Toy Story 3, I had the thought about Woody. Because Woody, in that movie, believe it or not, and it's insane that I'm saying this, but he's kind of a douche. He really does come across, by the end of that movie, if you really look at what happens, as kind of like just a selfish dick. And the reason I say this is because, for those who don't know, the whole conflict is that Andy is going to college and that there's pretty much like 4 options for him to do, considering his toys. His mom tells him you either have to throw them out, so put them in the trash, you have to take them with you to college, you have to put them in the attic of the house, or you can donate them to a daycare. Andy does not want to donate them like whatsoever. He immediately puts Woody in his college book bag, so he's going to take Woody. The rest of the toys he puts in a black trash bag, and he is going to put them in the attic. So he doesn't want to get rid of any of his toys. He puts all these toys in the black trash bag, all except for Woody, and his mom sees it. She thinks he's throwing them out, so she puts the black trash bag on the street. The trash men come, all the toys think, wow, Andy tried to throw us out. He doesn't love us anymore. He doesn't want us. What do we do? Woody comes and he's like, no. It was a huge misunderstanding. Andy actually wanted to put you guys in the attic. He still loves you. He wants to keep you in the attic. And the toys go, no, we were put out on the street. We don't believe you. We have nothing left here. Let's go to the daycare. And for toys, the daycare, I'm assuming, is like some type of like otherworldly paradise, because I guess all the toys really want to do is just like have fun and be played with. The entire like movie starts off with this like really cool imaginative action sequence where Andy is, I think, like it's like in the middle in the middle of America, and like, you know, there's like a train and a dinosaur. It's like all the toys being used for like this cool imaginary play moment, and that's what the toys want to do. And at a daycare, they'd be able to do that because it's an endless revolving door of children. And Woody tells them, no, you shouldn't want to go to the daycare. You should want to go to the attic. You're betraying Andy if you don't want to go to the attic. And that's real rich coming from Woody, considering he's going to college. He's going with Andy to college. And basically he's like admonishing the rest of these toys for not wanting to live the rest of their lives trapped in a bag in an attic. And this isn't like a one-off thing. They go to the daycare, and Woody sees how awesome the daycare is, and he is still arguing with them that they shouldn't be there and that they should go back in the attic and that he should go and live with Andy in college. Now, of course, the movie ends and makes Woody right. Like, they validate Woody because the daycare is terrible. It's horrible. Lots of Love and Bear is like a maniac, and a bunch of the other toys are corrupt. And the toys and Woody, they come together and they fight, you know. And I think it even ends with maybe Andy taking them all. I'm not really sure. I would have to watch it again. But the main thing that I always think about is that, I mean, there's really 2 things. It's that Woody, who really was just going to let all his friends rot in an attic and blame them for not wanting to do that, while he got to go off and live his perfect life with Andy. And the movie itself also, because it validates Woody at the end by actually making the daycare bad, the movie never makes Woody come face to face with his horrible treatment of his friends, right? Like, he never has to reckon with this idea that he was advocating for his friends just being put in the top of their house and never being played with again, basically. maybe like 40 years down the line when, like, you know, Andy discovers them to give to his own kids. But the movie never does that. Woody is just seen as right. And I do think it's always funny when the core character embodies some type of outlook or theme in a story, and they're very obviously wrong. But the story never kind of interrogates that and never looks at it, because you would almost come away from here thinking that Woody was just right in general, that like every daycare across the world is just worse than Andy's attic, but obviously we know that's not the case. And not that, again, Woody is ruined for me as a character. And now that Toy Story 3 is ruined, if anything, this makes Toy Story 3 much more interesting. But I do find it funny that Woody is such an unrepentant dick in Toy Story 3. Because the idea of him basically saying, I would rather have you guys be alone for the rest of your infinite lives than be with other kids is wild. That's like crazy to me. So let me know what you guys think. Am I putting too much thought into this? Is this crazy? Am I crazy? Yeah, this is just like my random thoughts, because isn't that weird? It's weird, right?